Create catchy melodies in minutes. So you sit down at your computer, ready to finally get that song out of your head and into your DAW. But then, nothing. You're just staring at that blank piano roll, clicking in random notes, and it all sounds, well, wrong. Turning that awesome idea in your head into an actual catchy melody feels totally impossible. Sound familiar? Well, in this video, I'm going to explain for you a super simple, step-by-step formula to start making memorable melodies in just a few minutes, even if you don't know a lick of music theory. The foundation: chords and vibe. Okay, so the biggest mistake I see people make is trying to write a melody in a vacuum. It's like trying to paint without a canvas. You need a foundation. Before you even think about a single melody note, there are two things you need to figure out: the vibe and the chords. First, the vibe. What's the feeling you're going for? Happy? Sad? Super energetic? That decision is going to guide everything else we do. For this track, let's go with something upbeat and hopeful. Next, we need that canvas to paint on, which is just a simple chord progression. We don't need to get all fancy here. Let's use one of the most common progressions in pop music: C major, G major, A minor, and F major. This is our playground. The melody is going to sound its best when it's working with these chords, not against them. The formula for catchy melodies. All right, are you ready for the formula? It's just 4 simple steps. First up, use chord tones. Chord tones are just the notes that make up whatever chord is playing. They are your absolute best friends because they will always sound stable and right. To get started, you can literally just play the main note of each chord. So, over the C chord, you play a C. Over the G, you play a G. You get the idea. It's basic, I know, but it's a starting point. Next, and this is a big one, focus on the rhythm. A melody is pretty boring without a good rhythm. In fact, the rhythm is often more important than the actual notes you choose. Instead of just clicking notes in, try tapping out a rhythm on your desk. Find a simple pattern that has a good feel to it. Once you have a rhythm you like, apply it to those main chord notes we just talked about. Third, repetition is king. Seriously. What makes a melody catchy? You hear it once and it gets stuck in your head because it repeats. A great way to do this is using call and response. Think of it like a little conversation. You create a short, simple phrase in the first couple of bars. That's your call. Then, in the next 2 bars, you create a similar phrase that feels like an answer. It can be a little different, but keeping it familiar is what makes it so memorable. And finally, let it breathe. One of the biggest rookie mistakes is writing melodies that are way too busy. There's no space. Your melody needs room to breathe, kind of like a sentence needs commas and periods. Adding some silent pauses makes the whole thing easier to follow and way more singable. By the way, if you're getting something out of this and you're ready to stop overthinking melodies, do me a quick favor and hit that like button down below. It's a small thing, but it really helps the channel out. And make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next video. I've also put together a free melody cheat sheet with this exact formula, which you can download from the link in the description. Putting it all together. All right, let's actually put this all together. We've got our chord progression. I'll start by sticking to the chord tones. Then I'll come up with a simple rhythmic pattern, something with that call and response feel. I'll make sure to repeat that main idea, but maybe I'll change the last note or two at the end of the phrase just to keep it interesting. And most importantly, I'm going to leave some space so it doesn't feel all cluttered. Notice how we're not using a million notes or making huge, crazy jumps in pitch. The catchiest melodies are almost always simple. They usually move in small steps, which makes them easy for people to remember and hum along to. If you can hum it back after hearing it once, you know you're on the right track. And that's really all there is to it. A simple, repeatable formula for creating catchy melodies in just a few minutes. So to recap, start with a vibe and a simple chord progression. Build your melody using chord tones. Focus on creating a strong, repetitive rhythm. And finally, leave some space to let it all breathe.